The spotlight has shifted, the whispers of fans have turned into cheers. And in the heart of television's most enduring drama, something unforgettable has happened. Heartland Season 19 has just crowned new stars. The Spencer Twins and Isla have risen above the rest, shining bright at the Nova Awards. A victory that has the whole Heartland community buzzing with pride and excitement. For nearly 2 decades, Heartland has held a special place in the hearts of viewers. It's not just a show, it's a journey through family, love, resilience, and the unspoken bond between humans and horses. Season after season, fans have watched familiar faces grow, stumble, and rise again. But what keeps the show alive after all these years is not just the legacy of its past, it is the spark of new talent. The fresh energy that takes the story forward while honoring everything that came before. This is where the Spencer Twins and Isla enter the stage. From the moment they were introduced, fans sensed that something special was happening. At first, they were new characters finding their footing in a world that had already been loved for so long. But slowly, scene by scene, moment by moment, they began to weave themselves into the fabric of Heartland. What was once a quiet introduction has now become a powerful presence that even longtime viewers cannot ignore. The Spencer Twins are not just characters, they are a reflection of each other's strength and individuality. Their bond, both on and off screen, adds a dynamic energy to every episode they appear in. Whether it's through playful sibling banter or moments of quiet support, their performances resonate with authenticity. They remind fans of the family ties that are at the very core of Heartland. For a show built on relationships, this connection feels natural, even necessary. As the series continues to evolve in its 19th season, and then there is Isla, a character who has quickly gone from being a promising addition to becoming a fan favorite. Isla carries with her a kind of quiet strength, a balance of vulnerability and courage that feels both relatable and inspiring. In her storylines, fans see reflections of their own struggles, their own hopes. She is not just another character written into the script. She feels like someone who belongs in the world of Heartland, as if she has always been there, waiting for her moment to step into the light. It is this combination, the Spencer Twins' vibrant energy and Isla's powerful emotional presence, that has given Season 19 a new rhythm. While Heartland has always celebrated legacy, these young stars bring something more, a promise for the future. They are not replacing what has come before. Instead, they are expanding the story, adding new layers to an already rich narrative. Fans who once wondered how the series could keep going after so many years are now beginning to see the answer right in front of them through the bright eyes and heartfelt performances of the next generation. So when news broke of their recognition at the Nova Awards, it wasn't just about an award. It was about validation. Validation for the actors who pour their heart into every scene. Validation for the show, which continues to find relevance even after 19 seasons. And validation for the fans who have supported these characters with their time, their voices, and their love. The Nova Awards win is more than a trophy, it is a symbol of how far the Spencer Twins and Isla have come, and how much further they are destined to go. This background is important because it shows that their victory is not sudden or accidental. It has been built slowly, with care, with dedication, and with performances that are impossible to ignore. In many ways, this win belongs not just to the actors but to everyone who has walked alongside them: writers, directors, fellow cast members, and most of all, the fans who believed in them from the very beginning. The night of the Nova Awards was not just another red carpet event, it was a stage where dreams met reality, where young stars carried the weight of years of storytelling, and where the legacy of Heartland was once again honored. When the Spencer Twins and Isla stepped into that hall, they were not only nominees, they were symbols of how far the show had come and how deeply it still connects with its audience. The air was thick with anticipation. Bright lights bounced off polished floors, cameras flashed in rapid bursts, and every star in the room carried the same mix of nerves and hope. But when the announcer's voice rang out, declaring the winners, the moment froze. The Spencer Twins and Isla had done it. They had claimed the Nova Award. For a heartbeat, there was silence, a stunned pause, and then came the eruption of cheers. applause echoing through the hall like a wave crashing against the shore. It wasn't just a victory, it was a story in itself. These weren't veteran actors with decades of awards already behind them. These were rising stars, still carving their place, still proving themselves with every role. To see their names called was like watching a new chapter of Heartland being written right there, live in front of the world. Their smiles, their surprise, the way their hands trembled as they accepted the award, it all carried the rawness of something real, something earned. For fans, the moment was electric. To them, the award was not simply for outstanding performances. It was recognition of the emotional connection that these actors had forged with the audience. The Spencer twins had given fans laughter, warmth, and the bittersweet truth of family life. Isla had given them resilience, strength, and the quiet courage of facing life's toughest challenges. The Nova Awards panel may have voted, but in the hearts of the fans, the victory had already been secured long before the trophies were handed out, and this wasn't an easy win. The competition was fierce, filled with established names and performances from shows that dominate ratings across networks. Yet what set the Spencer Twins and Isla apart was not glitter or spectacle, it was authenticity. They didn't just perform. They lived their characters. They breathed life into their roles until audiences forgot they were watching actors at all. That rare ability to disappear into a story, to make fiction feel like truth, was what carried them across the finish line. The acceptance moment itself was nothing short of cinematic. Standing on stage, with the award in their hands, their voices shook as they thanked not only the cast and crew but also the millions of viewers who had embraced them. Isla's words in particular carried weight, her voice steady but filled with emotion as she dedicated the win to everyone who believed in her journey, both on screen and off. The twins followed with heartfelt gratitude, their sibling energy turning the moment into something joyful, almost playful. Even as tears glistened in their eyes, behind the applause, though, was something more subtle, a collective recognition that this was a turning point. Awards are not just decorations, they are signals, markers of who will carry stories into the future. And in that hall, with the Nova Award shining under the lights, it became clear that the future of Heartland was safe, secure, and more promising than ever. What makes this victory unique is how it bridges generations. The older fans who have watched Heartland since its very first episode see in this win a continuation of something they love. The newer fans, drawn in by the energy of the Spencer twins and the emotional depth of Isla, see it as a celebration of fresh talent. Together, they form one community, united by pride, joy, and the belief that this series still has much more to give. The Nova Awards may have been just one night, but the memory of it will linger. The standing ovation, the smiles, the tears, these are the kinds of moments that live forever, not just in the minds of fans, but in the very legacy of Heartland. When the Nova Awards ceremony ended and the lights dimmed, the real magic began not under the spotlights, but in the quiet corners backstage, where laughter, tears, and disbelief collided. For the Spencer Twins and Isla, the night was more than a public triumph, it was a private flood of emotions shared with the people who have walked this long road beside them. Backstage, the energy was raw and unpolished. Crew members who had spent years behind the cameras, unnoticed by the world, were clapping, hugging, and wiping away tears. The show's writers exchanged proud glances, their faces glowing with the knowledge that the stories they had carefully crafted had reached beyond the script and touched real lives. Directors who had guided every gesture and every line were smiling like proud parents watching their children take their first steps into the wider world. For the cast, the moment was deeply personal. Amber Marshall, who has carried the show for years, was said to have been one of the first to embrace Isla after the win. It wasn't just congratulations, it was a passing of the torch, a silent acknowledgement that the younger generation was ready to shoulder the weight of Heartland's legacy. Other longtime cast members joined in, their voices mingling in laughter and heartfelt words that will likely never be captured on camera. It was a family reunion in the truest sense, where victories are shared, not owned. But perhaps the most powerful reactions came from the fans because even though they weren't physically backstage, their voices filled the space through endless notifications on phones, live tweets, and messages of pride that poured in from every corner of the world. The hashtags began to trend within minutes. Hashtag Heartland19, hashtag Spencer Twins, hashtag Isla Shines. It was as if the entire fandom had been waiting for this single night, and when it came, they celebrated not quietly but with roaring digital applause. What made these reactions unique was the way they blended both worlds. In that moment, there was no line between the fictional ranch of Heartland and the reality of its cast. Isla's character had inspired resilience, and now Isla the actress was receiving recognition for embodying it so flawlessly. The Spencer twins had brought the magic of family to the screen, and now their real-life sibling bond was shining for the world to see. The stories on screen and the lives off screen had merged into one powerful truth that Heartland is more than entertainment. It's an experience shared across countless homes and hearts. Among the crew, whispers of what this win could mean for the future began to rise. Could this recognition open new doors for the show? Could it bring in fresh storylines shaped by the growing popularity of the younger cast? Some even speculated that this award might solidify season 20, a milestone that once felt uncertain but now seemed almost inevitable. Optimism replaced doubt, and the atmosphere buzzed with possibilities. In interviews that followed, the reactions were just as genuine. The twins, still clutching their awards like fragile treasures, admitted they hadn't expected to win. Their humility became another reason fans adored them. Isla, with her steady voice and shining eyes, spoke about the importance of staying true to oneself, a message that resonated deeply with the audience and gave the victory an even greater sense of meaning. This behind-the-scenes wave of emotion revealed something awards shows often fail to capture: the heart. Beyond the stage, beyond the polished speeches, lies the human core of storytelling. People creating, people believing, people lifting each other up. And on that night, in that unseen space behind the curtains, the Heartland family proved that their strength lies not only in the stories they tell but in the way they live them together. The Nova Awards victory was more than a celebration, it was a signal. For a show like Heartland, which has carried its legacy for nearly 2 decades, every milestone shapes the path ahead. And now, with the Spencer Twins and Isla stepping into the spotlight, the question fans are asking is not simply what happened at the awards, but what happens next in season 19. This win is not just about recognition, it's about momentum. Awards have a way of reshaping the way stories are told, of guiding writers to lean into what resonates most with audiences. The applause at the Nova Awards wasn't only for past performances, it was also a vote for the future. It told the world, these characters matter, their stories matter, we want more. And in the careful world of television, such a message does not go unheard. The Spencer twins, already beloved for their sibling energy, may now find their characters woven deeper into the tapestry of the season. Storylines could expand, giving viewers a closer look at their growth, their challenges, and their triumphs. Where once they may have been supporting threads, the Nova Award could shift them towards center stage, allowing them to carry the weight of arcs that explore themes of loyalty, family, and resilience in a way that honors Heartland's roots while breathing new life into its narrative. Isla, on the other hand, has become something of a symbol. Her character's quiet strength mirrors her own journey, and with this victory, the writers may choose to amplify that resonance. Isla's storylines could explore deeper struggles, more ambitious arcs, and perhaps even leadership roles that reflect her real-life rise. Her recognition has positioned her not just as a character within the show, but as a voice for a new generation of Heartland fans, young, hopeful, and searching for meaning in the stories they watch. For the show itself, the award could be the reassurance it needs to continue evolving. After 19 seasons, it is natural for questions to arise about longevity. How much longer can the story stretch? How do you keep it fresh without breaking the heart of what makes it beloved? The answer may now be clear: by trusting the new stars, by letting them carry the torch while still honoring the history of those who came before. The win has proven that fans are ready to see the next chapter unfold through these younger characters without losing the soul of the series. Fans, too, will feel this shift. Already, conversations online are brimming with theories. Some imagine new emotional arcs for the twins, perhaps challenges that test their bond, or triumphs that cement their place in the family. Others wonder if Isla's growing prominence could bring unexpected turns that change the rhythm of season 19. While no spoilers are certain, one truth stands out: anticipation has reached a new high. The Nova Award win hasn't just celebrated what has been done, it has ignited curiosity about what comes next. And that is the beauty of this moment. Heartland has always been more than a show, it has been a reflection of growth, of family, of enduring through change. With the Spencer Twins and Isla now shining brighter than ever, the series stands at a crossroads that doesn't feel like an ending, but a renewal. Their victory at the Nova Awards is more than a trophy, it is a compass, pointing toward a future where Heartland continues to thrive, evolve, and inspire, for the cast and crew, for the fans, and for anyone who has followed this journey from the beginning. Season 19 now carries an even deeper meaning. It is not only about carrying on a legacy, it is about building a new one. The past gave us the foundation, the present gives us pride, and the future, led by these rising stars, promises to keep the story alive for years to come, long after the stage lights dimmed and the trophies were tucked away. The real celebration of the Nova Awards victory began not in a hall, not in a press room, but across the countless living rooms, phones, and online spaces where Heartland fans gather like family. If the award belonged to the Spencer Twins and Isla, the joy belonged to everyone who had ever cheered for them, defended them, or cried alongside their storylines. Social media became a river of excitement the moment their names were announced. Hashtags exploded in minutes. Hashtag Spencer Twins. Hashtag Isla Victory. Hashtag Heartland 19. Fans who had never spoken to one another before suddenly found themselves in the same conversations, connected through a shared sense of pride. Memes were created within hours, edits and fan-made tribute videos spread across TikTok and Instagram, and Twitter threads overflowed with words like deserved, historic, and finally. What makes this reaction unique is how deeply personal it felt. Fans didn't just congratulate the actors, they celebrated them as if they were family. Some posted stories of how Isla's resilience reminded them of their own battles with hardship, or how the Spencer twins' bond mirrored the siblings they grew up with. Others shared photos of their children watching Heartland, saying how proud they were to see young stars winning recognition for roles that carry such honesty and heart. For many, it wasn't about television anymore, it was about seeing reflections of themselves winning on that stage. The buzz stretched far beyond social media. Fan forums that had once been quiet corners of the internet lit up with discussions. Some talked about how this recognition could shape future seasons. Others debated what it meant for the legacy of the show, arguing passionately that Heartland had once again proven its ability to grow without losing its soul. What united them all was joy, a collective happiness that made the win feel like a victory for the entire fandom. Even traditional media picked up on the wave, reporting not just on the win itself but on the fan response. Headlines spoke of an unstoppable fan base and Heartland's global family celebrating together. Interviews captured the emotional posts fans had written, spotlighting how rare it is for a show in its 19th season to still inspire such strong devotion. This wasn't just a win for a cast, it was proof that Heartland remains a cultural force, fueled by the love of its audience. The emotional highlight came from fans who had been there since the beginning. Some wrote posts recalling how they had started watching when the very first episode aired, growing up alongside the show, and now, years later, watching a new generation of actors win awards under the same banner. Their words carried both nostalgia and hope. Nostalgia for the early days of Amy and Ty, and hope for the vibrant future promised by the Spencer Twins and Isla. The past and present blended seamlessly, making the fandom feel timeless, and in the end, that is what defines the community buzz around this victory: unity. People from different countries, different ages, and different walks of life found themselves celebrating the same story. It was as though the Heartland Ranch itself had grown bigger, its gates opening to welcome everyone who had ever believed in its message of love, resilience, and family. The Nova Awards may have handed out the trophy, but it is the fans who keep the spirit of Heartland alive, carrying its story forward with every post, every cheer, and every tear shed in front of the screen. Some victories live for a night, others live forever. The Nova Awards may have ended hours ago, the curtains may have closed, but the echoes of that evening continue to ripple outward through the cast, through the crew, and most powerfully, through the fans who carry the show in their hearts. The Spencer Twins and Isla did not just walk away with trophies, they walked away with the weight of expectation, the gift of recognition, and the knowledge that their names are now tied to a legacy bigger than themselves. For them, this is only the beginning. The Nova Award does not mark an end, it marks a turning point, the kind of milestone that opens doors and reshapes destinies. And for Heartland,